Why are nonviolent protests effective for long-term change? Imagine a movement that brings thousands of people together without a single act of violence. How can peaceful protests create lasting change? Let's find out. Nonviolent protests open the door for more people to join because they don't requiring risking physical harm. Men, women, children, the elderly, and people with disabilities can all participate comfortably. This inclusiveness makes the movement bigger and more diverse. When more groups support a cause, it shows widespread backing and makes it harder for opponents to dismiss it. Ethically, nonviolent protests connect with shared values like peace, justice, and respect for human dignity. When protesters stay peaceful, they highlight the immorality of violent responses. This moral stance can sway public opinion, making authorities think twice before cracking down. It also exposes the brutality of repression, which can turn public sympathy toward the protesters' cause. Politically, peaceful protests often combine with other tactics like strikes, boycotts, and civil disobedience. These actions put steady pressure on governments and institutions without provoking violent backlash. When protests disrupt normal life, they push leaders to listen and consider reforms. This approach can slow down or stop oppressive policies, leading to real change. Research shows that nonviolent resistance is about 10 times more likely to lead to democracy and lasting political change than violent resistance. This is because peaceful protests build broad coalitions and keep supporters engaged over time. Violent campaigns tend to alienate potential allies and often lead to harsh repression, which limits their success. Organizing a successful nonviolent movement takes careful planning. Leaders need to train participants, choose strategic locations, and adapt tactics as situations change. Without this preparation, protests can lose momentum or fail to produce concrete results. In the end, nonviolent protests work well for long-term change because they bring in more people, stay morally strong, avoid violent crackdowns, and keep up consistent pressure. These elements help create social movements that can bring meaningful and lasting political transformation while upholding core ethical principles.